Stop that. Stop that. Stop that. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the walking. Just too sharp with the prize. White girls let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Cold like 0 degrees. I'm out the cage, gotta let out the beast. Revolutionary, gotta let out the streets. Locked in a cage, I'ma let out the sheets. We came for one man, forget my peace. We take the west side, take on the east. I'ma put him in the cage, never let out the. I hear him chat to the noise. Move too quick, can't stop for the talking. I hear him chat with the boys. Not so tough, but man's keep walking. Yeah, just too sharp with the prize. White girls, let it tell me I'm awesome. Yeah, hot like fire on the pan. If you wanna touch my please use caution. Stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
It is a good thing that Billy Gill is suffering the F1 punishment today because he is wearing an outfit that is flame retardant. And the reason I bring it up is because the last thing that Greg Cody just said to me before the microphones came on, and I'm a little worried about just today in general, but this in particular. Greg Cody just said out loud, not 30 seconds before we started, is anyone up there minding the oil? He's got bubbling oil upstairs and on the 11th floor, and Billy's been worried that today's Turk Off. It's a big day between Greg Cody. Greg Cody says he makes the best turkey. Roy Bellamy says he makes the best turkey. Roy Bellamy right now is standing over his oils and turkey, but Greg Cody is here, and there's no one on the 11th floor with Greg Cody's bucket of oil.
In an enclosed garage, which somehow someone approved.
Enclosed is debatable. I think there's a window somewhere in there.
Greg, when you left the 11th floor, was anyone there tending to the oil? Or
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, it's I set the oil on low.
Right.
So it's probably not boiling and bubbling yet, but as soon as it gets up to temp, I want to drop my bird. And I don't know exactly when that is, because normally when I go through this process and cook Greg's deep fried Cajun bird, I'm babysitting it the entire time. I'm watching the oil come up to temp.
Right.
I'm constantly watching the bird. And so this is a little unusual doing it remotely. I'm 8 floors away from my oil right now, and I'm feeling, I'm feeling a little nervous.
Is there anyone up there watching what could be bubbling oil? This seems irresponsible.
There is a fire marshal on hand. So to
like a
observe
real
all
one,
of
or
this.
like I'm a race car driver today.
There's a person that we're calling a fire marshal on hand.
All right.
We're calling it.
It's Lewis.
Okay, so we don't have a fire marshal, but at least we have someone. So someone is minding the oil.
Yes.
You asked me that question. You wandered away from the oil without knowing if it had a minder.
I was told to be down. I do what I'm told. I'm
Since
just,
when, Greg? Do you have a back in my day today?
No, because my
Turk Off.
It's Turk Off Day. Right. I contributed a brand new Yeti, and I contributed a brand new song to the show. I thought that was enough.
We haven't played that yet.
I've heard about that song. Mike, can you get that song for me now, please? And we will check in with Roy in a moment. I saw he appears to be in one of the lovely Elser suites where he is responsibly minding his oil. Greg Cody, we're going to have to send Greg Cody up to make sure everything's okay with his oil and probably send a cameraman with him.
Roy doesn't have oil, just so you know.
I was going to say, why do you keep referring to Roy's oil?
Mm-hmm.
He's doing the classic oven roasted turkey.
Okay, my fault. I thought the Turk Off was fried turkeys against each other.
No,
I'm sorry for not knowing. These
O
are
versus O, oil versus oven. Right, Roy? Nice chatting with you.
You threw it to Roy?
He was on the TV. I thought he was listening. Oven versus oil, O versus O. It's like that's a way to promote it,
Debate as old as time.
That's right. Thank you, Billy.
Roy, can you indeed hear us from that suite in that room that Greg Cody was not supposed to throw it to because he is not a professional broadcaster?
Old versus odd.
Roy?
You guys. I can hear you guys. You guys are chopping right now, coming in and out, just like I chopped the shallots for my turkey. So you're coming in and out right now. So But we are halfway through the cooking process right now. If you want, I can show you.
Yeah, let's see this bad boy.
Yeah.
Before I baste it.
Well,
see
hold
the
on,
bird.
but hold on. There
microphone
needs
down.
to be a little. Hold on. There needs to be a little.
Okay.
There needs to be a little tease.
Foreplay?
Yeah, you don't want to go just straight to the Turk Off. You want to slow it down, lubricate the surroundings. Can you tell me, Roy, how confident you are that you're going to be able to defeat Greg Cody in this Turk Off?
Well, right now I am at 70% because I'm not using my normal turkey. I'm using a store-bought turkey right now that was already brined.
Did you, like,
so I
catch
have
it
to cut
yourself?
down my brine time in half. No, I did not catch it myself. No, I go to an actual butcher for my actual turkey. So, fortunately, I wasn't able to do that. And
Why
I kinda
not?
tweaked the recipe a little bit
Tweak the
because it was last minute. You guys just thrusted me into this Turk Off. I'm
Man,
sorry.
there's been a lot of excuses
I mean,
headed
you
into
had
this Turk
weeks.
Off.
Like, you had weeks. I don't understand.
Thanksgiving was like 5 weeks ago.
You had weeks. We talked about this weeks ago. Like, look, this is what I know, and I can say this without dilution.
Weeks?
What I will say without dilution is, since we first talked about the Turk Off to now, you had plenty of time to go to the butcher and get a turkey.
No. First of all, I must have missed those meetings because I was told about this 1 week ago. And that's why
That sounds like a week.
Nope,
Plenty
not
of
enough
time,
time.
though.
Not enough
enough
time to get a turkey in a
By
week.
the way, all of this was an answer to the question.
What, am I a miracle worker? I can't get you a turkey in a week.
70% right now.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju at Le Batard Show. Is 1 week enough time to get a single turkey?
He said that like he gotcha.
Yeah, he really did. I didn't have multiple weeks.
Here's
I had a single week.
Here's an impossible timeline. Week.
It seems like 1 day would be plenty of
No,
time.
no, this is like the equivalent of the Mission Impossible movies. When I think of how hard, the degree of difficulty, this is the hardest thing we've ever asked Roy to do. Get a turkey within a week.
In Roy's defense, we don't know where the butcher is.
He coaches the Knicks.
Hey.
I can just imagine we're gonna need to find a turkey in a week. I got a guy.
I want you guys to understand.
And it's gonna cost you.
I asked Roy the question how confident he was. That's what we got as an answer without ever getting, and
No,
I'm
the answer was
unconfident.
70%, Dan. 70%
It's
was
a
the
terrible answer. Here's Greg's song. I'm fading you down. A week to get a turkey.
His name is Cooper, good at running curls. But when his hammy got a tear, he saw Puka standing there, his blade diminished. Hostile take over. Nakua hopped into the car. McVay has maybe found a star. And then Matt Stafford threw him 25 and 2. Oh, there's a brand new kid in town out of BYU. They call him Puka. Puka Nakua. His quarterback is not named Tua. Yeah, he is Puka. Puka Nakua. Fantasy assassin, it's the time to cash in. Yeah, it's Puka. Don't need the glow. Don't need the glow.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
Yeah, rhymes with Nakua.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Toe tapper.
Yeah, Yeti Blanc, by the way, a genius. How many takes did he have me do to get that song just right? Especially
Who are you asking?
on BYU alone. I had to no.
Right.
He's like, no, don't go BYU, go BYU. And, you know, it's just.
But you were asking us as if we knew. You
I
were
know.
there. You did it.
I
you
know he's a
Right.
perfectionist. Thank you, Yeti, for that.
You are clearly not. You are
Correct.
whatever the opposite of a perfect. You're an imperfectionist.
I am.
Put it on the poll, please, Juju. Is Greg Cody an imperfectionist?
Yes, he is.
Go ahead and get out of here. Take the camera person with you and get us a shot of you and the boiling oil. And how confident are you that you're going to be able to defeat Roy in the first annual Turk Off?
Well, I heard a lot of excuses from my worthy challenger, and I don't play that. I don't play that game. I'm 100% confident.
Made a series of excuses before we went to Roy.
I've done this a million times. The bird I have about a 95% success rate with Greg's deep fried Cajun bird. We're going to jack it up to 96% right now.
Nice.
Thank you.
Are you going to be barefoot when you do it?
Yeah, it's a tradition. When I drop the oil, I will be. Yeah,
The bird
just
in
when
the
I
oil.
drop the oil.
Right.
Yeah.
Did you go to your butcher to get the turkey?
No. I grew my own. I raised it. I raised it from a little tiny baby.
And I killed it.
Yeah, but mercifully, with a hatchet.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
So you beheaded a turkey.
Yeah.
Mercifully.
I'm just kidding. I bought it at an unnamed.
It was done
local
for
market.
him.
Who are going to be the judges on the Turk Off? Who
Our
are
bellies.
everyone? It's everyone's bellies. Are we voting? We're going to vote for whoever it is produced the best turkey. I'm not confident in Roy right now.
I'm confident.
Well,
and
Roy's not confident in Roy right now.
The judging of this contest is going to be pretty straightforward. We didn't overthink that. We're going to watch two dudes Turk off, and then afterwards we're going to taste it.
Now, there's only 6 of us here. There's a situation where it's 3-3. Like, do we want to bring a 7th person? Who's our 7th taster if we're split after 6?
We will figure that out as we go.
I like to get it.
This is the nightmare scenario that we discussed a week ago. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, Chris. There really is no plan B if there's a tie.
My dad threatened the will if I didn't vote for him, by the way.
I did nothing of the kind.
He does that a
although
lot,
I would have if
doesn't
I
he?
thought of it.
He does that a lot, doesn't he? Doesn't he threaten you
does.
with who are you going to give the inheritance to if not to Chris?
Charity?
Is she an exotic dancer?
His quarterback is not named Tua.
All right, should I head up?
Yes, get out of here.
Turking it.
Chris Cody said his father looks cool today, which
The hat.
I've never heard anyone say of Greg Cody before.
You know what? It could be the Team Valor Calmly racehorse hat I'm wearing, which is by Steve Arduini and Lou from Cincinnati. So thank you, two, for sending me this hat. It's
Okay,
a-
thank
You
you.
are gross.
Thank you for the acceptance speech
Awesome.
on your hat.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
So good.
It is because it's so bad. Like it is. It's our wheelhouse.
Can't
right
believe
there.
no one's thought of that.
Our wheelhouse is how do we
Gave a
argue-
16-week heads up on this, and I was so worried over the 16 weeks that someone would come up with this idea. But no, lucky for us.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
Lucy made Chris Cody laugh out loud before we started the show. She walked in and by way of greeting, she told all of us, "You're never going to guess who's in line to be the offensive coordinator at Iowa."
I believe that everything in my life has led me to this moment. Going to the University of Iowa, now moving to Miami, and the front runner to be the Iowa OC is Joe Philbin.
That's just good comedy. You're screwing with me. I don't believe that.
He looks like Iowa.
Oh, my God. I'm picturing now this audition room. I know it's a head coaching job or offensive coordinator, but I'm picturing like an LA-style movie audition room, and it's just the saddest, most boring offensive minds in football.
Just waiting outside of the room to meet Kirk Ferentz,
Yes.
like to talk to him.
And Joe's just like, okay, I guess it's my turn.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you. You made him more Southern country than I
John
imagine.
Skipper a little in there.
A little ranch hand.
He's got some of that in him, though.
Old-timey Northeastern,
That-
like
well-
Plymouth Rock.
Well, this is what I think of. When I think of Joe Philbin, I think of when he was the offensive coordinator of the Packers. Easier to do when Aaron Rodgers is in his prime as the MVP. And I think of Joe Philbin showing up and the team making fun of him because he showed up on it must have been Thanksgiving, showed up, not Halloween, dressed as a pilgrim and killed the part because he looks like that.
It was a motivational tactic to inspire his team to victory over the Lions at the time. I assume they won.
If you're doing that, you have to wear a giant belt buckle, correct? Like
Yeah,
he
on
wo-
the hat and the shoes.
He looked a bit leprechaun-y, as I recall, but also tall enough to pass for a pilgrim.
Yeah, like Nosferatu.
The Iowa offensive coordinator job has to be a good job, correct? Because you cannot do worse than has been done.
I think it's a great job because Iowa fans, I think they're with me on this one. I don't really want a great offensive coordinator. I'm fine with just an okay one at this point because okay is just, that's good enough. I'll take it. We're not getting Lincoln Riley. I just want like 27 points a game.
Well, you're in luck because Joe Philbin is okay.
What kind of questions do you think Ferentz is asking? Like, all right.
Well, you're going in there and you're trying to impress a guy who doesn't want to get first downs,
It's
right?
3rd and 4 at your own 30.
Well, what's your offensive philosophy? 3 yards at a time.
Run the ball. You're hired.
4th and inches.
Who's my punter?
What do you think about punting on 3rd down?
Billy, how do you feel right now about both your F1 outfit? That helmet was too heavy and tight for me. I was supposed to do that one, and I had to trade it out because the helmet doesn't fit, and I could not do a show where I wouldn't be able to hear you guys with a helmet that cannot fit. How are you feeling both about that and our Turk Off right now?
I feel terrible about this decision, but, you know, as someone who rules with an iron fist, I saw a punishment not being completed, so I took it upon myself to do it today. The helmet is very tight.
It looks like your head's about to explode.
It's horrible. I can't breathe very well. Had I known this, I probably would have worn contact lenses instead of glasses. I can't hear anything. My nose is stuffed, so I can't breathe through my nose. And also, as I told you guys last week, the universe was out to get me, and I haven't made amends yet, so my neck is still not in a good situation, and I didn't think about the weight of the helmet and my neck. So it's a bit of a struggle right now, but you know what? It's December. And punishments have to be paid off, so I'll do them if I have to.
Have you thought about going visor down?
No, I actually can't breathe with the visor down. I did try that, and I couldn't breathe, and I thought, we're going to die in a fire anyways. Let me not be a corpse when the fire
So you'll put it down
engulfs
right
us.
as the fire starts, just as like, this is how I want to go.
No, and also this protects me from absolutely no fire. Like, I will be burned alive in this suit. It's just plastic. It will melt onto my face and probably make my body unrecognizable.
Maybe he should be the reporter out there with my dad.
Yeah, you should be the fire marshal.
That who approved? Who approved cooking deep frying a turkey in an enclosed garage?
Enclosed is debatable.
It's not debatable.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
To my knowledge, this is a smoke-free building, which Stugotz breaks every single break.
Stugotz.
It's, again, an enclosed parking garage.
Still standing.
He's smoking.
Yeah.
But this is supposed to be a smoke-free building, but we're going to deep fry a turkey in a garage filled with cars?
You sound sinusy because it's squeezing your face.
I feel sinusy.
The helmet is squeezing your face, and it's altering the way your voice sounds. Also, the acoustics from inside the helmet are making it known to the audio-only audience that you are clearly, that is the visor going
Now
down.
the visor's down and the helmet is inside. Does this sound better or worse?
Worse. Yes,
Yeah.
it's
Worse, but better.
Well, here's my fear also is that the earpiece situation I have set up hurts. So I want to take off this helmet and the brakes, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get it back on successfully.
It is very tight, and I simply couldn't do that because my face and my head are too big for that helmet. And so thank you for ruling with an iron fist, and thank you for your contributions to trying to make this show better. I am also afraid that this Turk Off isn't going to go the way that it was planned. Do you think we're going to have a payoff when? At the end of the hour? At the end of the show?
I don't think Roy's turkey is going to be done until 6 p.m.
Well, he started it around 7.
Right.
And I think it takes 3 hours. So we're looking at like a 11 a.m. done time for Roy. And my dad's going to drop his about an hour after that. His will be ready.
Right.
Would you guys be kind enough to really, I'd like as a group here to have sort of a team meeting. Can you explain to me how in Roy's head somewhere a week is not a long enough time on notice for him to be able to go get from a butcher a turkey?
I mean, he's a busy guy. He has kids. He's got a family. He's got the hockey show.
Sometimes.
I'd like to talk for a moment about what Van Ginkel did on Sunday, getting his nose broken in the first quarter and just playing the remainder of the game. I know we get used to, in that sport, Stugotz, I'm sure by this time you're used to gnarled fingers of former football players because they get their fingers caught between helmets. That has to be a thing that happens fairly often, and it seems like that would be pretty awful. Like you hear all the time, in huddles, guys just help teammates popping their fingers back in.
It makes me go, oh.
Yeah, it's a normal it's a normal thing in that sport you do not leave the field and stay out because your bone or your finger is in the wrong direction, dislocated. But I'm just asking all of you the practical effects of, as Billy tries to do the show with a helmet on that is too tight. What do you imagine playing an NFL football game is like if you break your nose in the first quarter?
I can't imagine what it's like if you didn't break your nose. I mean,
That's an excellent point by you.
You have to just breathe out of your mouth the whole game now?
That's usually how it goes. Yeah. I mean, J.J. Watt played with a broken nose for 3 straight seasons at a Hall of Fame level. So Ben Ginkel's got some work to do.
Everyone here would take the show off if they broke their nose.
I think you're selling us short.
Grid of death punishment, break a nose, finish the show?
I don't want to compare myself to a football player, but right now I'm doing my job with a helmet on and a stuffed nose, so I feel like it's fairly comparable.
He's just one step away from Ben Ginkel.
Was your nose stuffed before you put on the helmet, or is it squeezing your face so that it stuffs your nose? Did you have some sinus issues walking in this morning, or are those all caused by the helmet?
So I wake up every morning with a stuffy nose, and I have a technique that I use that's kind of gross, and I'm also working on, I think, a proprietary fix to this solution.
Blowing your nose?
No, it's better than blowing your nose. But it's kind of gross, so if this is a judgment-free zone, I'd like to share with you guys.
I'd like to get to it, but before we get to it, I just want to tell you guys, I don't know if this is the same thing. I remember where I was. Freddie Gonzalez was the third base coach for the Erie Sailors. The first time I ever saw anyone blow their nose without a napkin by just putting a finger on a single nostril and blowing snot out of one side.
snot rocket.
Yeah, it's the first time I had ever seen that.
Love doing that.
I was just a young man, and I learned about life and discovery and wonder in Erie, Pennsylvania, in the third base box.
From Freddie Gonzalez?
From Freddie Gonzalez, before he was the illustrious Freddie Gonzalez. He taught me what the snot rocket was.
You either have that in you or you don't, because you don't want to be the guy that's like, oh, someone did that. That looks cool. And then you try it, and then you end up with it all over your face.
There are places, though, where it's appropriate.
Golf course.
A golf course, a baseball diamond, it's fine. No one looks at you, weird. You can do it there.
Shower.
You do it on the sidewalk, that's
the
a different
shower.
thing.
When
Shower,
when
definitely.
When you're sick and you have a cold and you're in the shower, it is just, I am clearing out right now.
Lucy, how do you feel in general about the snot rocket?
I love being a girl and not thinking about these things. And then when you guys talk about them, I'm kind of squeamish. I don't like any sort of, like, when you talked about broken nose, got a little lightheaded. I don't like any of it. So, bleh.
The girls don't have boogers?
No. We don't.
Billy?
Well, so do you want to know how I clear out my nose? And again, judgment-free zone, even though Lucy is very clearly judging all of us at this moment.
Always am.
All right, so I get some toilet paper, some TP, right? Yeah. And I thought about this because of a Q-tip in your ear. So I'll get some toilet paper. I'll kind of make it into like a little column, and then I kind of push it in and I spin it around, give it like 2 or 3 quick spins, like you used to do like at the COVID testing around your nose, and it grabs everything. Really? And you take it out, then you can rip off the tip of it, throw it in the toilet or whatever. Then you do another one of those with the bottom half of it, spin it around the other side. Oh! Clearest you'll ever breathe.
I think that's less gross than the snot rocket, isn't it? The snot rocket is pretty disgusting. I remember being taken aback. You understand? I don't know if you know, Stugotz, the first time you saw it, but to arrive at Freddie Gonzalez and Discovery.
I don't. I'm sorry.
Okay, and to see just a stream of snot come out of a man that
jarring,
casually, like with some real expertise. I mean, he did it. He did it with
it's part of everyday life for Freddie.
Yeah, it was with a flourish.
If you're watching on Max or YouTube,
this is horrific.
You can see just how troubling this setup is.
We should not be doing this part
live.
live.
No, that propane tank. No, that scares me. Everything that this is not
it's
responsible.
Next to something that's fenced in.
Yeah,
like
a larger propane tank.
At least he has his apron on.
I'm trying to think of something more horrifying that I could put dangerously next to Greg Cody than a can that says gas.
There's also live wires right behind him encased in like mesh. None of this is safe.
Here, Greg Cody, are you ready? Are you ready up there? Can you hear us? Is he in position right
can
now?
Hear you.
Tell us. Set up the scene. Set up the scene.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, we've had a calamity here. I told you.
This is the new and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
I got to be honest, this feels terrifying to me. I don't like seeing that kind of flame near your father and a tank that reads gas on it. Like
oil on the other
this
side.
None of this seems, this does not seem good.
We sent Billy up there to check it.
He'll take care of it. Oh, boy. Oh, man. Expert.
No, this is not good. It doesn't seem clean. None of this.
Oh, is that going on the floor?
Hold on.
Oh, my God.
Guys, it's going to be cleaned by the cooking process.
Okay.
Chris, how do you feel about your father here? You're laughing, but you're also scared.
It's just honestly a little terrifying. I am confident because he's done this so many times, but usually he has a kitchen.
But is the tank usually this
No,
close
we're just
by?
looking at his ass.
Right. I got to tell you, he's carrying himself like an expert.
He is.
I haven't
Right now
seen him
he's
this confident in a
He's
long
dusting
time. Yeah,
season right
He knows
now.
what he's doing. I mean, have faith.
This is live. This can go wrong. You guys are in agreement with me that the propane tank, Lucy, you're the responsible one here. Does it not seem like it's too close to the oil, to the
He's
fire.
lifting it. Oh my God, this would
dear
be bad.
God.
Right here.
Dear God.
Oh, okay, we made it.
Okay.
Done it
Oh, and
1,000
he's sliding
times.
it now.
No.
Okay, I think we're good.
No mitts, just foil on his hands.
Are we sure? Wait, we should talk to him for this part. He's about to drop
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Can we?
Hold on, Dad. Greg,
hold on.
pause.
Hold on, Greg.
Oh, he's taking his shoes
Yes,
off.
he's got to take his shoes
Can we
off.
mic him? Can we mic him?
Mike, Greg, Cody, can you hear us?
He's
There we go.
on the 11th floor of the garage. There are some remnants, some oil remnants. Same sort of thing you would see in a home where someone was cooking crack in foil. Greg, Cody, can you hear us? And do you have a microphone? Can you talk to us at the same time? Yes, there
John,
is
that'll go. Good
John
job,
Reed.
John.
Always professional. Thank you, John Reed.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. Greg, go ahead and give
I
us
am
the
prepared. The bird is ready.
Give us the
I am
play-by-play.
prepared for the
Go
ceremonial
ahead.
dropping of the bird.
Now, Dad, first let me just make sure you said before this that the oil was too hot when you left it there by itself. Are you sure the oil is not too hot now? Because that could be a problem. His headphones are off.
Okay, somebody help him. Billy, get in
He's
there.
frying a turkey.
Billy, get in there and help him, please, because
Billy's look like an F1
competence is not a strength under the best of circumstances with Cody. Billy, why don't you give us the play-by-play and perhaps interview him as he drops the turkey into the fryer and starts to compete with, of course, his headset doesn't work.
The headphones are breaking.
Yes.
Yeah, we know.
Yes.
Okay, everything's all right. Can I drop the bird?
The oil's not too hot, correct?
We hope not.
All right.
We hope not.
The oil look. I don't want to be this close. Hold on.
Billy, get away.
You have a helmet on, Billy. I mean,
He also, I didn't tell you this, but it's on a tiny ledge. This turkey.
Ooh, you can hear it.
oh yes.
Yes, put the microphone close.
What
to
a
them.
great sound.
Nice and slow, Greg.
Ooh.
Can't believe Billy's this close to this. That's the biggest upset here.
That cazuela looks like it's lived.
Sound.
That
So gross. I
That
think we're
cazuela
good.
has lived. That has cooked some things. There have been a lot of deaths inside of that.
Okay, we don't want the oil to go up much higher. I think we're going to be fine.
All right.
The bird has dropped. Okay, we're getting a little residual splash, which is okay,
Is that okay?
but we're good. We're fine.
How
Yeah.
long will that stay in there, Greg?
We're starting the clock right now. It's going to take in the neighborhood of 35 minutes.
Okay, you sound winded.
35 minutes.
It went
give or
in at
take.
9:32.
Setting a give or take timer on his phone right now.
It's a fairly exact science, so we're going to set it.
If
At,
it's give or take, it's not exact.
we're going to set it at 30, and then I'm going to look at it. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
This, Dan, to paint a picture, is styrofoam. It's foam here that's very flammable right next to this bird.
Yeah, we don't worry about that.
Okay, thank you for all of your hard work.
He does sound winded. I mean,
Yes, was that from bending over, Greg? Is
just movements.
Do you sound winded simply from bending over? Yes or no?
I have ruined a pair of Meadowlark earphones.
Yeah, he broke headphones. Did you see the ledge that it's on for some
Yeah.
reason?
We're on a ledge right now.
All right, good work. Excellent broadcasting
Jason.
at the end. Way to
Didn't
peter,
answer your
way to
question.
peter out. Didn't answer my.
5-inch curb. What did you ask? I'm sorry.
Never mind. It's not important.
His quarterback is not named Tua.
Pablo Torre is there, but I'm not ready to go to Pablo Torre yet, so he's going to have to.
I ruined the earphones.
I'm not ready to be gone to yet.
Let's wait for a second before we get to Pablo
He's riveted.
Torre. I want to read to you guys this report from Wesley Steinberg, who is a Giants insider who seems credible because his avatar is a picture of Bill Parcells.
That's it. I mean,
I'm gonna let you do this.
You think I'm being fooled by the internet?
Well, the previous report on Wesley Steinberg's timeline is that Sean McDermott was arrested at the team facility for his comments on 9/11. So seems credible enough. It's got a blue check. Run with it.
This is one of the problems I have with some of the DeVito information is that some of it seems like it is real and some of it seems like it is fake. So this is not from Wesley Steinberg, what I am telling you now, which is that DeVito's agent is in a feud with a New Jersey pizzeria place because evidently at the last minute they doubled the appearance fee of Tommy DeVito, the Giants quarterback.
yeah. So, I mean, Tommy DeVito has become a major star, and so this guy wants to cash in while he can, and so he doubled the fee. Big deal. I guarantee you, doubling the fee, they're also doubling the amount of people that are coming out to see Tommy DeVito at said pizza parlor.
When did they agree to that fee, though? You can't just go back on. If it was set months ago, I mean, that's just sorry, Tommy.
But Stugotz is okay with lying and just filing it under business.
We don't know all the details. We have no idea.
You're siding with a doubling of the fee when what the detail we do know is that the pizzeria feels ripped off by it. There is beef there's pepperoni between these two sides. There's a problem between the two sides.
I'm siding with strike while the iron's hot. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm siding with, because Tommy DeVito, this may be the best opportunity he has to cash in on his celebrity right now, because it could go away at any moment. So his agent is doing what an agent does.
So what's that fake story you wanted to read?
And this is why it sounds believable when I'm when I'm jumping from one to the other, that he recently told the team's social media manager to quit it with all the Italian shit. I just want to play football before storming out of a room. It doesn't seem crazy. I don't know whether it's true or not.
It's believable. I got sent that in a group chat, and I'm like, wow, we could use this for the show. Let me see if this person's real. Blue check. Okay, good start. Nowhere in the bio does it say parody account, because allegedly that's how we were supposed to distinguish fake accounts. And then I did the last check, which is, let's just see how full of shit this account is usually. And the couple first tweets that I saw seemed reputable. And then Sean McDermott was arrested at the team facility, like 3 tweets down. So this is the future that we feared when the blue check policy changed.
It is here. That future is here now. And since we are on Max, obviously this is just a silly sports thing that doesn't matter. But John Oliver, Stugotz, who I believe, and I know a lot of people think that he's too woke because of where we've divided, but I don't think that John Oliver has moved politically in his 15 years on camera. He's always been about the same things, and most of what it is that he says or does on Sundays is enriched by facts, like just clear and obvious facts. Like he may be presenting them in a way that obviously leans a certain way, but what he's giving you again and again is fact-based. It's indisputable. He's got a team of 20 writers who work all week to produce a half-hour show, and they need weeks off because of how strenuous those weeks are to get someone in front of a camera to talk for 30 minutes straight and do that correctly, factually, with the subject matter they're covering. And he spent the 30 minutes taking out Elon Musk. And not surprisingly, Elon Musk's response to that was John Oliver was funny many years ago before he went full woke and is now humorless. Woke is interesting as a word because it's gone from something that was used by black people, stay woke, stay alert to racism, and it's been co-opted to dismiss funny people. Elon Musk is many things. Funny is not one of them. He's simply not funny. I don't trust him to discern who else is funny. It's not something that's in his repertoire.
I've tried to follow some definitions because people have been asked several times to define woke, and they just go woke mind virus. But pretty much the description of woke just means progressive. And I think that oftentimes people give credence to dismissing someone as woke by just regurgitating that word. It's progressive. It doesn't have a negative connotation. Neither does woke, by the way, but it's totally been co-opted the way that fake news was co-opted by Trump earlier.
I love that show. I love Last Week Tonight. I like watching Bill Maher's show as well. To me, it's just an easy download that's digestible on things going on in the world that can mix comedy and difficult subject matter that doesn't seem very funny. But what Musk is doing with what is now X, and he's getting mad that he has not been able to get people to stop calling it Twitter, because everyone is still referring to it as Twitter. The idea that Elon Musk, Stugotz, who seems like an overgrown high schooler, trying like Zuckerberg, all of them trying to be popular because they weren't at one time, and now trying to purchase that popularity. Him being taken down for 30 minutes, fact-based, on Elon Musk, John Oliver taking him down, I would encourage everybody to watch what is there. I know Elon Musk now, a podcast about him and his history is top 5 in the United States, just covering who it is Elon Musk is, because he's got an extraordinary amount of power and people don't totally know what he wishes to do with it.
So I've been calling Musk a phony and a fraud for years now on this show, but you're saying, and I did it without any facts behind me, I just threw it out there and we had some fun with it. You're saying that John Oliver has facts to back it up. Huh?
On everything.
What a powerful feeling that must be.
Yes, to have a team of writers putting together the facts for you so that you can be properly informed, and nothing that you say is assailable. All of it is vetted and lawyered so that you also cannot get sued. Yes, that would be wonderful if I could work with people like that. Instead, it's you and Cody on Tuesdays near a propane tank with a lot of flame.
But I was right about Musk. I mean,
you were there before. You didn't need any facts. Can Greg Cody still hear me with his broken headphones? Is he still out there? Let's go to Greg Cody. Cody, your opinions on how it's going?
I want to hear him in his natural elements.
Yes. Greg Cody, yes. How is it going up there? Give us an update, sir.
Our oil has come back.
This is the new
down.
and unimproved Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz. Gamble on by DraftKings.
I have to admit it, I am sad to admit it, but when I just saw the fried turkey emerge from It's broiler. It looked really good.
Delightful.
It looked the
yes.
correct color of brown. Greg Cody might be victorious here. Look at him, how happy he is in the parking garage, working hard near the flames. He is stirring the oil.
We haven't checked in much with Roy. I mean,
Yeah, Roy, we'll check in with him in a week, see if he's finished and if he's had enough time. You know, he's taking his time. But before we do any of that, Pablo Torre joins us from New York, and I want to get his expert opinion here on some sound produced by Eric Adams, the mayor of New York. He seems a little bit loopy. He says a lot of funny things that are unintentionally funny, and here he is being asked a question about describing New York in one word.
Mr. Mayor, we've come to the end of what was a very eventful 2023, right? So when you look at the totality of the year, if you had to describe it, and it's tough to do, in one word, what would that word be, and tell me why?
New York. This is a place where every day you wake up, you could experience everything from a plane crashing into our trade center to a person who's celebrating a new business that's open. This is a very, very complicated city, and that's why it's the greatest city on the globe.
An amazingly terrible answer.
You do wake up. I mean,
some of us do, yes. And
He was asked for one word, just for the record there, and he started with New York and then proceeded to say about 35 more words.
Well, I didn't think
which,
I didn't think it could get any worse.
Most
After
of
he was
which.
asked for a word, gave two, and then the first thing he says, you can wake up any morning. And this is one of the things that makes the city incredible. 9/11's happened.
Yep. I'm in this place, Stan, where I have to check how funny I find all of these politicians. Because I know there is this larger argument that I should not find Eric Adams hilarious because he does real things that affect real people with real policies. And yet I just laugh at that. I think to myself, this is part of, in a weird way, Eric Adams' real answer is New York's a great city because New York has mayors like me, a total maniac, who you New Yorkers somehow tolerate and find a way to laugh at, despite the fact that I materially make your life worse.
Is he popular? How is he viewed in the city?
No, I wouldn't say he's popular. I would say I like that I'm now local. I'm like a man on the street now. Eric Adams, he's got problems, but he makes me feel safer. I think that's what people in New York would say. Like, he's a cop. He's there to increase security. He seems to do that. But in reality, all of that seems to be smoke and mirrors. And he's an insane person. He's an insane person who was trailed by a series of insane lies that are George Santosian in a way. He claimed to live in New York, but really was living in New Jersey. He brought like the local news to a weird tour of his home, which clearly was like set up for like a sad TV shoot. He claims to be a vegan or a vegetarian, but clearly eats meat. He's at nightclubs all the time at like 2:30 a.m. And when he's asked about it, he's like, the city needs to see their mayor. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good answer. I mean, insofar as you can have an answer for why you're totally irresponsible. And then there's like those serious stuff that he messes up routinely. So, no, not popular, but definitely an insane person.
I keep saying some form of we get the leadership that we deserve. Can you explain to me what it is that you want from leadership? Because at bare minimum, I want the people who are leading us with maximum power to be smarter than I am or smarter than the average person.
Yeah, the real trick of who I want to be a political leader right now is that I want someone who is not deeply thirsty to be a political leader right now. Like the guy that I want to be president of the United States, Stan, which will be no surprise to anybody who I think has heard me talk about him, is Dominique Foxworth. I want Dominique Foxworth to be president or at least senator because he doesn't want to do it. He's overqualified. He actually has principles, and he's concerned about whether this is even a thing that he would enjoy. And those are the qualities I want for the guy who is supposed to, take the lives of millions into his hands.
So no wild political ambition. You distrust anyone in this climate who has wild political ambition.
It's the catch-22, right? I literally, again, as I belabor this point, I went to college with Vivek Ramaswamy. I believe I broke the news while filling in for you on your show, some of the things that he would do. And that is the person who, in all of his attention seeking and all of his hunger and thirst to just be that guy, That's the opposite of what I want to select for. And right now in politics, you're seeing the melding of the fragmented media economy with the political system, and you're seeing people who are really good at gaming traffic get traction as a politician. And I want the person who is hesitant to be in public at this point to want to be a politician, which is why it's incumbent upon people that I know, my friends, for me to bully them into, hey, can you like save the republic maybe? Can you like do a miserable job that actually should feel miserable if you have principles, because it's hard and it should be unglamorous and it does involve like real consequences for people. Or you could do this. And so, you know.
Pablo Torre Finds Out was voted by the Big Lead the best sports podcast that there is, but God Bless Football and Nothing Personal.
Yeah.
Billy, what do you want to tell people about how they are coming to rival Pablo Torre Finds Out, because he was not nominated as opposed to Nothing Personal and God Bless Football for what?
Well, I don't think that we're rivaling Pablo Torre.
We're not competing.
Thank
with
you.
it. Yes, we're not figuring anything out.
We've won twice already. Pablo's won once, so Pablo's trying to catch up to us. We were nominated for a third time for Sports Podcast Awards for Best American Football Podcast, and David Sampson's Nothing Personal with David Sampson was nominated for Best Baseball Podcast and Best Sports Business Podcast. So this is a fan voting thing. So you can go and you can vote, and then maybe a couple more trophies, and then maybe there'll be a newsletter about us one day within the company, but probably not.
Where can they vote?
Just a mention.
Where's the voting?
I'll put out a link because it's a Sports Podcast Awards. You can Google that, but we'll put out a link. You can go vote.
Was I not nominated for that?
No, you weren't.
Is that what I'm learning now?
No.
For the
This
first
is
time?
fan vote. Like, we don't care about what the experts. I don't care what they have to say about my podcast or Billy's podcast. I care about what the fans have to say.
You actually have to submit the podcast, and then it goes through to the fan voting phase. So like there's a selection process. These are the awards that got through to the fans to decide the winner.
Can I award Greg Cody the award for a person who looks most like a Grand Theft Auto 6 NPC that I've ever seen?
He does.
Like I don't know, Dan, if you've done a good enough job explaining for the listeners what he looks like, because beyond the barefootedness, beyond the fact he has this giant apron and a t-shirt and this, like he's literally in an abandoned garage. But the thing I am focused on the most is his hat. Like, what's the deal with that? Greg just showed up with
Team
the hat
Valor, Cincinnati Lou. He gave an acceptance speech before on the hat. I didn't.
He said it's his cooking hat.
I didn't.
That's what it is.
No, it's Team Valor is Comley, like his horse. That's their team.
Yeah, but he said he likes to wear it when he cooks, when he fries a bird. That's what he told me.
And Christopher said that he looks cool. His father looks cool for the first time. But Pablo, you are right. He looks like a cliched sort of stereotypical street merchant in a video game who you just drive by as an extra who's standing outside of a delicatessen looking to commit a crime.
Yes, he's yelling things indecipherably and like removing the turkey from the brine, and it looks actually shockingly good, to your point. I agree.
When going up there to cover this, I saw that this floor is under construction, so it looks like he snuck into this floor and should not even be there. Like, there shouldn't be humans on this floor doing this.
He looks like a Morlock, like a mole person.
He also has the quality and skin color of someone who's embalmed.
Can we show his feet? It's the feet that really make it.
All right, let's go down, please. And is he still barefooted? Foot. Let's, John Reed, if you can make yourself useful there. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
I've touched those feet.
We encourage you, youtube.com/@Le Batard Show.
Yeah!
Is where it is that you find
He
our
got it!
YouTube offerings. Pablo Torre Finds Out is it's gotten very popular as a podcast. The quality is very good. Before we get to what it is you're doing on the next Pablo Torre Finds Out, what commentary do you have on what we were discussing about John Oliver and Elon Musk?
Oh, yeah. It's that anybody who says the word woke unironically and has since like maybe 2020 is scamming you on the internet. Like, nobody who intends the word sincerely is saying it anymore because it's been co-opted in a way that lots of terms, by the way. Like, I think there are lots of terms that have been co-opted so successfully by the other side of things in bad faith ways that we should just stop using them. like white privilege to me is like once a descriptive term that was useful, no longer, because it's just a conversation ender, because it connotes all of these things that people have campaigned on against. And so woke is that way. And the thing about John Oliver and Elon is that what makes me laugh the most is that what is most cutting, I think, to like the Elon simps is that John Oliver is just like, this guy isn't cool. The way that he described him in that piece was he looked like a more unfuckable version of Billy Zane's character in Titanic, which I think we can all appreciate.
I have a child.
Cody. What's on Pablo Torre finds out. That was, look, you mailed that one in, Chris. Like, that's one of your it's one of your signature phrases.
Because there was an F word said, and Billy tapped me, and I thought Billy was tapping me to do Billy Zane, but he was like, F word. And then so right before I said, I have a child, I like looked over, I was like, F word, but Dan wants me to talk right now, so I have to do, I have a child. Is that better?
Barely.
The joke might have been that Billy Zane in this version did not have a child because of his unbleepable aspect. But I digress.
I don't have a child.
We have less than a minute left. Why should people find Pablo Torre Finds Out?
Yeah, so today we have a sit-down interview with a guy that I've been obsessed with for a very long time, a guy whose name may ring a bell in your brain, and that guy is Smush Parker. And I've been thinking about Smush Parker because last Friday, there was this report that Shohei Ohtani was convinced to join the Dodgers because he got this posthumous message from the late, great Kobe Bryant. And it moved him, and it was the thing that closed the deal. And it's this mythology, I realized, about Kobe still, even more so now, in death than ever. And Smush Parker happens to be the one brave voice in NBA history, really, to have shared a backcourt with Kobe Bryant and said, quote, it was overrated. And Kobe Bryant has basically made fun of Smush Parker. He had been making fun of him for years, called him the worst, basically did to Smush Parker what his name suggests. He got smushed. And so Smush Parker now, beyond having a whole life that I find fascinating, is doing something crazy in his last act. He is trying to become the 4th NBA player ever in retirement to become an NBA referee. And so he is a guy who contains multitudes. He comes clean on all the stuff about Kobe and beyond. He was at the Malice at the Palace. He was bringing up the ball at Auburn Hills when that was happening. He's like this Forrest Gump character, but he says things with a truth-telling aspect that you just don't hear elsewhere because he is like from the underclass. He is, metaphorically speaking, the guy next to Greg Cody under the bridge in the annals of NBA history. And he says things that the people above never want to hear, and he actually says them. So please listen.
Kobe treated Smush very poorly. Thank you, Pablo. We will talk to you soon. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, guys.